One of the disadvantages of working in a corporate sector is that we often get stress a lot on the project. We often try to maximize our potential, maximize our out, and this could lead to a lot of mental health issues. In this video, I'm going to talk about the burnouts at workplace and what is causing them and how can we handle those situations. If you have been one of the situation in your past, this video could be very helpful for you. I'm going to share my experience, my understanding about this topic, and the steps I have taken personally to make sure that I don't get into such situations. So let's get started with the video. Burnout at workplace is quite common nowadays because of the different expectations, where we have expectations from our professional world and also from our higher ups. Sometimes what I have seen, people are unable to manage it, and they are not even able to understand what are the symptoms and when they should be calling off this sort. So in this video, I want to give you a list of the items that you can identify if you are actually getting into those burnout situations, and how can you avoid those situations or manage your burnout. If all of the information I'm going to share is coming from my experience, it might or might not be applicable for all of you. Let's get started. First, what is burnout? Let me put in a very layman manner. Burnout is a situation where you don't start feeling well about yourself physically and mentally. You don't like to go to work, or you don't enjoy your work, and that is impacting your productivity, your mental health, as well as your personal life. That's burnout. Burnout is never done in one day, so it is always an accumulation of activities done over the period of time. So it's very important to understand what type of burnout situation you are into and then taking decisions according to that. So how can you identify if you are one of them who has burnout? So I want to share my list of 5 items I check for myself. If one of them is checked, then that means I am actually moving towards burnout. So let's start with the first one. Becoming cynical about your colleagues. So if you have become cynical suddenly about your colleagues, you are not clear about their intentions, and you always think that they might have some hidden agenda to do conspiracy against you, etc. It might be a symptom of burnout, that you are not actually enjoying working with your team. You might have been overstretching, etc. with them. So this is first point I check for myself whether I am burnout or not. And point number 2 is very important in this concept, is being always tired. If you just got up early in the morning, you had your coffee or tea, and after that you still feel tired, you have not properly rested, it means that you might have burnout issues. Okay, you are starting your morning slowly, maybe an afternoon you may be picking up. If this behavior of being tired is consistent across the day and the days, then this is the very valid symptom of burnout. You might want to see what is causing this burnout. And the third check I want to do is, am I doing the delivery with the quality I was doing earlier? So quite often, if somebody is burnout, they start cutting corners, they start taking shortcuts, because they are no more interested in the work they were doing, and they feel trapped. They feel they have been asked to do something which they are not supposed to do, or their managers or supervisors became too demanding, hence they start cutting corners and does not deliver the quality they were supposed to deliver initially. So if you are in this situation and you can easily identify this problem by yourself, that means you might be burnout at your workplace. Let's talk about the point number 4. In the point number 4, I want to talk about anxiety. So if you are constantly having anxiety about your workplace, uncertainty about what will happen to your job, your role in your company, you might be overthinking about it, that your job might become redundant, or you will not be able to move up in your career. That means you need to talk to somebody. It might lead to burnout. It is not the first symptom that you are already burnout, but it might lead to burnout. So if you are in that situation of anxiety, it might lead you to burnout. Last but not the least is about unable to manage the expectation of your superior. So quite often what happens in the corporate, that your superior or managers start asking you to achieve something which is not achievable in a given time frame, which means that you need to put a lot of pressure on yourself to become super efficient to deliver something. And still, since you are working with a very tight deadline, you might not be able to achieve certain level of quality, hence your manager might be questioning you. You might start putting question on yourself of self-worth of the job you are doing. So if that situation happens, you are already actually burnout, because it's not you will get into the burnout. You are already burnout because you have been fighting for something, and if you start getting a question of self-worth, it means you are already burnout. If one of them is checked, that means I need to talk to my manager, or maybe colleagues, or maybe somebody whom I am comfortable with, to tell them this is the situation I'm in. So this is how I check, and you can take this formula by yourself if you like it. Never ignore your mental health at workplace. But the biggest question is, right, why it happens? I have seen this happening from three regions. And this is again a very subjective term, but I'm putting it for myself. So one is value mismatch. So maybe you were hired for a certain job and your manager or your superior start asking you to do something you are not skilled into. So if there is a value mismatch, if there is a skill mismatch, that could lead to burnout and ticking any of those points I just discussed. The second point is again very important, is about you have an issue at your family, on your personal life, and you are not able to devote enough attention to your professional world, not able to complete your work, and you are doing your work at the end, and then the quality is not proper. That could also lead to such situations. The third point I have is why it could cause is because of the being physically inactive. So these are the three things I think initially cause the burnout, but there can be an number of the circumstances. This is what my experience is, and now let's talk about how can we fix it. So again, to fix the burnout, I have 3 steps formula. The first point is acknowledgement. So you must acknowledge that you are burnout, need to do something about it. You may need to talk to your manager, may need to talk to your partner or supervisor, anyone in the world you trust. But talk about it, that you are burnout. Acknowledge it first. And the number 2 is going to be cure it. You need to start working on activities and stuff so that you get out of this burnout. One of them, the first, what people usually take is vacation. So for sure, you should take some vacations from your workplace. So you need to recalibrate your system, bring it to the right level so that you can, achieve what you were supposed to achieve earlier before the burnout. So one of them is start gym. So if you don't do physical activities, you will not be able to simulate those hormones that gives you happiness, reduce stress, etc. Second point is going to be, you need to start decoupling yourself from the workplace. You could start picking up a hobby, anything outside life. You may read some books outside. You may want to travel through some places. You may want to do some dancing, singing, but just pick up a hobby which can help you to decouple from your work and focus on that hobby for some time. The point number 3 is going to be, start reading something spiritual, or book or whatever you like to. So but if you don't like religious or spiritual content, you can always go with the non-fictional or self-help type of books. So that's not a big deal. But coming back to the point that if you start reading something, you start implementing it in your life, maybe in small ways, and that could help you to decouple yourself from the work, recalibrate your systems to back to the normal situations, and then no time you will be able to come back to the same energy level. Given that you have not skipped any of these 3 steps. The third in the situation to manage it is going to be, manage your future expectations. So you burn out because of certain mismanagement you did to yourself, with your time, with your expectation, with your superiors, etc. So now you need to put a very clear boundary that what you can do, what you can't do, what is your capability, what is not your capability. I think if you start putting a line next to this and become more efficient in your time management, then burnout situation will not be arise in future. Else if you keep doing everything same the way you were doing previously, again you will get into the same situation. So the first thing is, we need to acknowledge. Second, we need to cure, and third is we need to manage, because you can never prevent it, but you can always manage, and hence you will be able to better manage your burnout. Last but not the least, I want to leave you with this: never ignore your mental health issues. This is the most important aspect of your life, of your professional life. If you are not there, it does not matter to any company, to any superior, they will hire somebody else, but it matters to you and to your families. This will also impact your physical if you are not actually in a right mindset. And how you can do it? Just give importance to yourself at workplace. That's all in this video. If you like such content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you have any specific questions, put that into the comment section. I told you everything I know about burnout, and these are the steps I'm also following. So I know this works. So you can also try to use them if you want to. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.